Hey there, welcome to No Nonsense November number 7. And today we are talking about and sharing the lesson called Y to the 7th power, or Y7X. And this has actually become, over the last year plus, since January 2020, one of my personal favorite tools. Now, one of the biggest exercises in futility is to try to understand why other people do things, right? And we often find ourselves watching the news or watching the media or hearing about a story and asking ourselves, well, why on earth would this person or that person or this politician or this religious leader, why would this person do the thing that they're reportedly doing? And we'll never know, right? Unless we're inside someone's head, which doesn't ever happen. We're barely in our own heads most of the time. We're not going to understand why other people do things. And so there's really not much power or much value to spending our time and energy figuring out and asking ourselves why other people do things. Now, just the opposite is true when we ask ourselves why we do things, because our greatest science experiment, the greatest mystery on the planet for each and every one of us, is ourselves, and getting to know ourselves better and understanding why we do the things we do, what makes us tick, what's important to us, what our priorities are. And we'll talk about these things throughout the month of November. We've talked about some already, and we'll continue to talk about the things that are most important for you and me to understand. But one of those is getting to know ourselves and understanding why we do the things we do. Now, for the longest time, I did a tool and used a tool called the 5 Whys, where you think about something that you want. So say I want a new outfit. Let's keep it super simple. I want a new outfit for the holidays. Well, why do I want that? And we ask ourselves a series of 5 whys deep down to get to the true root cause of why we want this. Now, in January of 2020, Dean Graziosi, you may or may not be familiar with him. He's a person that I've followed for like 3 decades or more now, and learned a lot of cool things from him, Tony Robbins, a lot of other guru type leaders now who weren't gurus when I necessarily started following them, but they are now considered leaders in their industry and leaders in their fields, kings of their categories, etc. And he learned, I believe it was in Genius Network or something like that, that in one of his masterminds, that if you go 2 more levels deep on the 5 why exercise, 7 more, go 7 levels, ask yourself a series of 7 why questions, you get to a more root cause, a deeper level in understanding yourself better. And I've practiced it and done it literally hundreds of times now on hundreds of different things in my life since I learned about this tool, and found that to be absolutely true. I have discovered things about myself and things that I do and I behave and I believe because of something that happened when I was in like 2nd grade, or when I was 3 or 4 years old, or when I was 10 or 12 or 15 or 17 or 21 or 35 or 50. But it's things that I, on a conscious level, have not been aware of. But once I uncovered why I was doing the things I'm doing, and why I behave the way I behave, I was able to decide, is that still in my best interest? Something I decided when I was 3 years old was me probably isn't appropriate at 61. And it's vastly inappropriate behavior at age 61 versus age 3. So it allows me the opportunity to question and reevaluate that. And a lot of times just understanding and why I behave in certain ways unlocks that and allows me to let that go, and I don't need to behave that way anymore. Why? Because I learned the lesson I needed to learn, that the world keeps showing me, and the 7 whys is just a quick and easy way of unlocking that for ourselves without having to go to years of therapy or pay for $20,000 to $100,000 coaching programs, or go to NLP or different modality specialists. We can absolutely positively do this for ourselves. So give yourself the gift of asking yourself a series of 7 whys. So think about something that you want today, anything, could be anything, could be a new outfit, and say, well, why do I want that? Why do I want a new outfit? Well, because I'm sick of my old clothes. Well, why am I sick of my old clothes? Because I've been wearing them for a long time. Why have you been wearing them for a long time? Because COVID and the pandemic made it pretty difficult and challenging to shop. And I don't really love shopping. And why is that? Well, because everything was shut down. And why is that? Well, we could go into all kinds of deep things about that. But why, I could say then, I don't like to shop. Well, why don't I like to shop? Well, I've never wanted to spend the time and energy shopping. I always felt my time was spent doing other activities. Why is that? Well, because I like to set my priorities and spend my time and energy on the things that feel best to me. Shopping always felt kind of like a waste of time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I can get down to the nitty gritty of why, at a core value level, what experience might I have had? And maybe you get to it, maybe you don't. Sometimes I've had to do the why questioning a dozen times to get at the root cause before I unloosened it and let it go finally. Other times, first time through, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to feel stupid. How did I not see that all these experiences I've had over the years are just because something happened in second grade and it made me feel stupid, and on that I piled all these things that made me feel stupid. I hate feeling stupid, therefore this is why I've made all these choices and decisions. And you can almost see the dominoes falling as you go through and use this exercise. So I invite you to try the 7 why exercise today. Let me know how it goes for you. Any questions, please ask, because that's the purpose of No Nonsense Novembers. Finding things that work for us and then trying them out, applying them, see what we can learn and how we can benefit from them. Might not work for you, but I guarantee it's definitely worked for me and tens of thousands of other people, if not millions of people so far, who have learned about this 7 why exercise. All right, have an awesome day. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow for another No Nonsense November.